in your house, 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 in your 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 house, 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 in your house, 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 in your.
Bada boom, realest one in the room. How you doing? I'm a certified G, bona fide stud. You can't teach that. And you are tuned in to IYH.
Hi, this is Isla Dawn, and you're watching In Your House podcast. This is Alexis Littlefoot, the Big Flexer, and this is In Your House.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Poppers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Thursday, and you know what that means. That means it's time for another edition of the AEW Dynamite. Yeah, review show with myself, OG Tony, and of course, producer of the show, the voice, Josh Joseph. And we're going to bring him in and on right now. And of course, those are the two men I just said. Of course, he does his thing over there on Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. He's the oldest man on the internet. He's the OG of professional wrestling. That's Tony Gonzalez. What's up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Looking forward to talking some Dynamite. Looking forward to a big weekend of professional wrestling on Sunday. 3 shows in one day, so I'm going to watch about 13, 14 hours of wrestling.
Hey, that's a great weekend if you ask me, and I'm most definitely going to be watching a lot of wrestling. We got a big show this Sunday, not just for All In, of course, but us here in the household coming together and watching All In. That's our watch party going down this Sunday, and joining me for that watch party is, of course, producer of the show on Wednesdays. We talk WCW, but every day. He is the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? Tony's nurses, it sounds like you guys have a weekend on your hands, keeping this boy all pepped up, ready to watch some wrestling. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to possibly having Tony for the all-in watch-along party. That could be fun. The more the merrier. Anybody who wants to join,
yes.
Come hang out with us. It's going to be a blast. AEW is about to put on a banger of a show. We've sure enough taken enough of your guys' time in talking about this show to the lead up to it. I mean,
it's so long.
Fucking join us, okay? Just join us.
For real. Come and join us. But listen, we had the final Dynamite leading up to this massive event, All In. And before we get into all the wrestling nonsense we're about to talk to, I got to tell you about our friends at NordVPN. And listen, if you're a wrestling fan, sometimes there's a show you want to watch and you start looking around the internet like, now I'm not saying I'm supposed to be here, but hey,
I'm already here. And that is when you might want to have NordVPN. NordVPN helps protect your privacy and keeps your online activity more secure, because some of y'all be clicking links that I know you wouldn't click with your wife standing right there behind you. Hey, I'm not judging. It's all part of the work. Plus, you can connect to servers all over the world, which come in handy when the wrestling you're looking for isn't available where you are. Again, I'm not telling you where to watch your wrestling. I'm just saying, if somebody sends you a link and the website looks like it was built in 2007, maybe put NordVPN on first. Go to inyourhouse.com/NordVPN. Get the In Your House NordVPN deal. Protect yourself out there, because we're trying to watch wrestling tonight. Not explain to our bank why somebody in Bulgaria just bought a refrigerator with your debit card. All right, let's get to the show. We're about to hop into it right now. And listen, we had a big episode of Dynamite that went down last night. At least presumably in our minds, it's supposed to be a big episode of Dynamite. It is the go-home show, the final stop of what is presumably their WrestleMania, biggest show of the year, Wembley Stadium, all in London. Will Ospreay could possibly win the championship. We definitely gotta make this last Dynamite feel important. And we're ending the show on a video package. All right, so this episode of AEW Dynamite, the last episode leading up to this big event, my God. My God. This is what, I'm sorry, guys. And I'm a fan of AEW. I talk about it every week, and their shows I've come on here and I've said they've knocked it out of the park. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. This episode of AEW Dynamite was a grade A, all-American, freshly shitted out dog turd. I'm sorry. It was light. The show was light. You had, for a go-home show, I just felt like there was a whole lot of wrestling. I understand we had to have these tournament matches here, but we also still have a collision, so maybe we didn't have to have both of them on the same show. We ended the show on a video package? A video package. We had a disjointed main event with Swerve Strickland going up against Jack Perry. Great match. Enjoyed the match. But why? For what reason? What are we doing that for? I don't understand. And then you have the Divine Dominion basically already going through their pay-per-view match with the Brawling Birds. I don't care about neither one of them teams. When they're wrestling on Sunday, that's probably when I'm going to find time to find a snack, go to the back, because I just don't care. And the worst part about it is that you got Persephone and Maya World mixed up in all that big batch of mediocre and mediocrity there with the Brawling Birds and the Divine Dominion. I don't want my Maya World anywhere near those Brawling Birds. Like, I don't want no chocolate in my peanut butter unless I'm eating a Reese's. This is terrible. That was awful. I try not to be that critical. I try to give everybody a fair shake, and I just watched a Monday Night Raw with voice, live, here on In Your House. And they did one thing wrong that I was going to take a point off for in the main event. I'm not getting too much into WWE. I'm just making a point here. But then they did something at the end that switched it from what would have been an 8 to me turning into a 10. What I'm saying is that things can be saved. And as this episode of AEW Dynamite progressed, OG, to me, it became clearer and clearer that they just didn't care about this episode.
No, they did not at all, unfortunately. And there's also some things. Okay, you start off the show with a decent Ospreay promo. Guys, what happened the last time we seen Ospreay? Didn't he get drove through a table?
Yes, he did.
wasn't his big story leading up with to that match and earlier on for a couple months about his neck?
Yep.
Completely no-sold at it completely.
Absolutely. Just
They even said on commentary, Tony Fox, he's 100% fine. So all that shit that they did with the Death Riders and getting his neck ready and all this, well, I guess they did get his neck ready because went
he's
through a
magically good.
1 week angel through a fucking table and he's completely fine. Completely, that spot meant absolutely fucking nothing.
Nothing. Pointless.
And that's how they start the show.
That's awful. And then OG, what do you? I mean, there was. I just felt like there was a lot that they missed on this show, but nothing bigger, OG. Nothing bigger than the fact that the AEW champion, the guy who's supposed to be the cleaner, the guy, Mr. Show Up, the Cal Ripken of wrestling. Where's Kenny Omega on the final freaking go home show? Where is he? You can't even excuse that. I can't, I get it. Some of you guys out there in the household or in the IWC period, because I like to think people in the household, they got a little bit of common sense. So more towards the IWC. AEW can do no wrong. AEW is perfect, blah, blah, blah. We know how some of you AEW fans operate. What is your excuse for the AEW champion not being on the final show before the pay-per-view?
That, and also, you don't get me wrong, I love the MJF segment. That was one of the things I liked on the show, especially with him and Andrade and the way they did that. But you got a guy running around with a championship said that he's still the rightful champion. Before that, we had a guy running around with for months with a championship belt and the damn briefcase. Does this championship mean any fucking thing?
Listen, man, this belt thing is an issue. I mean, no, Nightwing, he didn't. He didn't. MJF was not there for being there, but the national championship, for what reason? For what reason, man? What are we doing? You got Fighting Theory says everyone has a real problem with last night's show. It wasn't that bad. They're setting the stage for All In. See, that's the thing. And Fightings, I hear what you're saying, but my rebuttal to that is, why didn't you do what you did last week this week? If you take the episode from last week, which I thought was a good episode. There was a lot of chaos in that episode. We saw the initial confrontation with Mercedes Moné and Willow that I said on the show was a 10 out of 10 segment. Last week is what we should have been getting last night. If you want to have a slow episode, you don't want to have Kenny Omega on the show, do it last week. Let Kenny have his day off last week. That way, when you have Will Ospreay getting obliterated with a one-wing angel through the chair, at least we don't have to see him the next week cutting a promo perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. At least that creates doubt in our mind that that Sunday he might be cooked because he just took that damage. Yes, Nightwing, they played it absolutely safe in the worst way. Let's get some Voices thoughts on it. I want to get some of your thoughts on the Go Home show, the Go Home Dynamite before All In London.
Well, it's your typical Go Home show with AEW. They do things the week before that we want done this week. To me, after watching wrestling since I was 3, I'm 43 now. That's 40 years. Yeah, those are some good years there, Tony. I got 40 years under my belt of watching this product. Again, I feel like Tony, the old man, going back to this, but Tony, the one thing that you've said on all the shows I've ever watched was the AEW glasses part. I wasn't expecting a mega show. Wasn't expecting them to do anything right for this show because there's so much stuff that they still hadn't hammered out through to getting to this particular pay-per-view. All Out. They hadn't had the tournament figured out. You should have had that figured out last week. Going into this week, we should have known who's facing Mox, and then having the standoff with them there.
The one final promo between the finalist and the two.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
They love to do these little videos of, I'm going to teach you something, youngster, and I'm the old guy around here. So why didn't they do one with Kenny Omega looking at Will Ospreay after the attack, after he took everything that he took last week, being like, told you so. You could have done something there. Guarantee you none of us would have said a boo about him not being there if they would have done a video package that way, in the sense of you see both of them there. Then Will can come out by himself and do his little, I'm going to take over the world, bruv. I'm doing all the ocean spray things. You're going to be drinking me. There's no more water. Ocean spray. That's what he could have got away with it. But here's the thing. And Fightins, I love you to death because you are not the typical AEW fan. You have said things that you don't like what they're doing. You've come on here many times and have given your opinion. And I fucking love that about you, because in reality, he's right. They were just building for their all-in show.
I do like that last comment that he made, saying that it's like that slow-ass Dragon Ball Z episode right before the big episode.
Exactly.
I do like that. I still stand on what I stand on, but I see where he's coming from.
Well,
I see where he's coming from.
Howse, we love a promotion that fucked up every single one of their go-home shows. Every single one. There was not a Monday Night Nitro before a pay-per-view that anybody was like, this was the one. This was it. They did it all the time. They would try to ram all these storylines into these moments, these hours that they have, and leading up to the pay-per-view. Sometimes it was a little wonky going into the pay-per-view, but they always delivered. AEW does the same thing. Look, this was not Dynamite. This was AEW M80. The go-home show. This is only going to take off maybe a pinky if it goes off in your hand. Dynamite will take off your life. You'll be dead.
Yeah.
But an M80, you're going to survive. You're going to maybe be an NFL player who just blows off their fingers. You can do it. It's been done before. But what I did like about this show, Tony, you brought it up, the MJF moment with Andrade. Are you telling me that wasn't one of the best promos they did that night? It was organic. It was fun. Once you seen Andrade, you knew what the fuck was about to happen. Yep. And it was great. The whole time I was waiting to hear, how you know? Yeah. And MJF brought that to me, and he served it up beautifully. It's fantastic. Yeah, he's walking around with that title belt, because another thing Tony has said that resonates in this fucking crazy brain is MJF is your champion. And when he doesn't have that title, he's going to make you regret him not having that title. And he does it every week. And he's doing it by bringing out his title and being like, because he doesn't have to say it. He should say it, but we're out here saying it. Why the fuck is Kenny Omega the champion?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm ready to see
They're doing it just for this moment, for him and Will Oceanspray over there. And that's great. That's going to be fantastic. Nightwing, you're going to love it. You're going to resonate with the crowd at that moment. But does it help the promotion or does it hurt the promotion? Because as I'm sitting here as a fan wearing my Samoa Joe shirt, looking at all my AEW fucking memorabilia, and I go, wow, it really feels like it's hurting this promotion, because I would have much rather seen Ocean Spray versus MJF for that title.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we've talked about for weeks. The Kenny Omega thing has been forced, and I'm just saying I'm ready to see it end. I mean, I'm ready to see it end. As somebody, bro, come on, y'all. Like, if you think there's any hate, I'm somebody who was watching Kenny Omega in New Japan. That dude, incredible. I mean, he was an amazing wrestler in New Japan Ring of Honor. I went to shows, saw him live, met him before. He's a great, great in-ring competitor. But that's not who this is now. That is not who this is now. And, from pivoting from one guy who I feel like is not doing the promotion any favors to another guy, we're getting Jon Moxley versus Nigel McGuinness.
No, you're
When
getting
Kyle
Jon
O'Reilly was
Moxley
right
beating
there.
Nigel. You're getting Moxley beating Nigel. That's what you're getting.
I don't understand. Kyle O'Reilly was right there.
Claudio was right there.
Yeah.
Claudio was.
Jay
yeah.
White was right there. Jungle Boy was right there.
They let him beat all the best guys. They let him beat all
What the fuck?
Who is this tournament helping except for fucking Jon Moxley? It's a fucking joke, guys.
Unless they pull off Nigel winning this. And
Yeah,
do you guys see that happening though?
I think it's possible, but my thing is, even if they do it, there's other people. I mean, I'm not a Nigel McGuinness hater, but that really makes Moxley. It's ridiculous. He beat all these guys, and the guy that's wrestled 3 matches in the last 13 years is the one that beats him.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're not making Nigel McGuinness. Let's make somebody if Moxley's going to do this tournament. That's why I think it's a joke.
Jack Perry? Oh, we could have made him already? Oh,
and now he's just eating loss after loss after loss. What are we doing?
Dude, and after putting on like at least a 4-star match.
Dude, that match with him, Nick Wayne, and Andrade for the national championship, like when Andrade first won the title, banger. Jack Perry changed my mind in that match. And then he's been having great matches. What are we doing? Jon Moxley against Nigel McGuinness, and I'm supposed to believe that a guy who is wrestling with a bum ankle, who can't be in 100% ring shape, he hasn't wrestled in 13 years, going up against a guy who, I'm putting my feelings for Jon Moxley aside for 1 second. The dude who is sharp as a knife because he wrestles every single week. Sharp as a knife. He wrestles every single week. He beat Jay White, who's a young up-and-coming prospect, in my mind, a future AEW World Champion. Jack Perry in the same spot. He beat him. Then he beat his own stablemate, who's absolutely no slouch, in Claudio Castagnoli. And I'm supposed to believe that Nigel McGuinness is supposed to beat Jon Moxley? Get the fuck out of here. What are we doing? What are we doing? And there's really no winner here. If Jon Moxley wins, we confirm that it was the Jon Moxley stroke session tournament. And if Nigel McGuinness wins, we didn't make anybody. We just gave him a moment in Wembley and then nothing after that, because there is no freaking way you're telling me this guy, they're going to write for this guy after he has this moment. What they're about to do, if they let him win the title, because I'm 50-50, straight up, I'm 50-50, because I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, because Moxley is Moxley. But you cannot convince me that if they give him, especially knowing AEW, if they give him this win in Wembley, give him this moment, you can't convince me that they've got good shit written for him after that. You can't convince me.
They don't. They don't know what they're doing after this tournament. Even if Moxley wins it.
Then it's like, if Moxley wins it, then it's like, just retire the fucking title. Like, nobody else can ever take it from him, ever.
Well, see, that's like I said in the chat, guys. I'm not worried about this being a good pay-per-view. It's going to be a good show. Yeah. My concern is after the show.
Yeah.
Where are we going? That's kind of and it probably shouldn't be, but that is my kind of concern, because I have complete confidence this is going to be a very good pay-per-view. Yeah. I don't think the build up to it's been very good. I think they had one good week in the build, and that was last week.
Yes.
And other than that, I don't think the build's been real great. But that happens sometimes. It's happened to WWE. It's happened. Yep. So so what? But it just But this show it's just like they didn't care.
That's really what it felt like. And I am thinking about what you just said, OG, when you said I'm concerned about what's going to happen with AEW after All In, and I think that's a legitimate concern because when you think about it, and I'll pivot to Voice here and get his thoughts on it, you got to think after All In, the landscape of AEW is going to completely change because we're telling completely different stories now.
Yeah, you would have to think that especially if you equate this to their Mania. What does Mania? Mania, either you're ending a story or you're starting anew.
Yep.
If we keep Mox as a champion, we definitely are not starting anew. That's not happening in that situation.
Right.
Where does Mox go? He's been teasing the fact of going to the world title picture, especially with Kenny Omega. Yeah, Kenny Omega and Will. Can it be entertaining? Yeah, but you're going to have to make Mox look weak. Like, when does Mox get to the point to where he has to work for anything in our eyes? Because, like, right now, yeah, he's coasting because he's putting on Mox matches. Every match we see with him is a Mox style match.
It's like really mat based, ground based, keep you on the ground, some striking, a little brawling, and maybe some big moves here and there, but still a whole lot of mat based wrestling. And then maybe he'll hit you with the Death Rider, hit you with the Stomp, choke you out, call it a night because Moxley's winning. Mox wins, LOL.
Exactly. Now let's look at the idea of the main event last night. You had Swerve Strickland starting it off with how he's just trying to pick mentally apart Jack Perry for what Jack Perry's still doing, coming out to the ring, doing all those things. He's trying to play that mentor in the sick, sadistic way in which he's going to beat the living shit out of you while he teaches you a lesson. In that match, Jack couldn't wrestle Jack Perry's match. He had to go into Swerve style matches in which he was having great counters. He was stopping a lot of Swerve's big moves and turning them into something, into either a submission or another big move that he was able to conquer. Those are the types of wrestlers I want to see in these types of tournaments. Not a guy who every single match is going to be the same, just a different face. I used to love the idea of a death match, a hardcore match and stuff like that. But Mox has really put a bad taste in my mouth. Every match we see of his that involves some type of using outside tables, whether it be going through barbed wire, doing those things. Like, it's become like mundane with him. Like it's so repetitive, and like I've seen it. I mean, yeah. What are we doing? Even the promos don't change. The promos are the same thing. It's Mox going in and trying to teach everybody that he's the wrestler. Well, guess what? You're a wrestler. That's 100% sure. No one can take that from you. But are you everybody's style of wrestling? That's the thing. I always have to look back at guys like John Cena. I may not have liked him, but you weren't going to always see a John Cena match. You were going to see his moves, the whatever they call them, the 5 moves of doom, whatever it is. But then look at his catalog of his greatest matches. He had to go into like Randy Orton's world. He had to go into Taker's world sometimes. He had to go into so many different worlds and force them to either adapt to him or he adapted to them. And with Mox, you could have that and we would be having completely different discussions. But it's like he has to have control over the way he pisses, the way anybody pisses if they're going to be in a match with him. Or are you sitting down when you piss? Because you better be, because that's how I roll. Like, let's just fucking have a match. Like, that's what was great about like Terry Funk, man. Yeah, you were going to see traditional Terry Funk shit, but Terry Funk, guess what? He went barbed wire with Sabu. You think he had to stay in Terry Funk world? No, he had to go into Sabu's world and fuck him up. Same when he faced Mick Foley. He would have to continuously go into Mick Foley's world, and when he was Cactus Jack, that was a world nobody wanted to be in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for my rant, but it's just got me.
Trust me, I've been ranting. I've been ranting about this show for a solid 30 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I understand. Maybe they's like, maybe we popped our shit last week and now we're gonna keep it light this week. But man, especially for a crowd, and you know, where were they? They were at Glasgow, I believe, right? I think they were at Glasgow.
Yeah.
How many shows are they doing over at Glasgow? Seriously. Probably not a lot. You know, not as much as you're getting in the States, but. You gave them that. I mean,
hopefully Collision's better.
Hopefully Collision is better. I definitely agree with that. But listen, I will say this. We are going to do our predictions on the second half of this episode. And we are going to be joined by the In Your House UK correspondent. He's going to join us for these predictions that we're about to do. But before we get to the break, because that's exactly what we're about to do, we're going to go to break here in a little bit. I want to get some of OG Tony's thoughts, just some quick thoughts, and then some of Voice's quick thoughts on this subject here, because I'm interested. Jericho declared that he was going to put himself in the Casino Gauntlet, and he's also going to be in action at Collision and the Trios. Seeing Chris Jericho where he's at right now, and I'm a Chris Jericho fan, I'm a Chris Jericho guy, I love Chris Jericho. Just seeing where he's at on the card, does it make anybody else feel like that the end is near?
Hope so. I really hope so.
I don't want to see him do it anymore. I'm not. Listen, let me talk to y'all for a minute. I don't want to see him do it anymore. That was me with like Undertaker in like 2016, 2017, 2018. I was like, man, I love you. You're my favorite wrestler. I don't want to see you do it anymore. Yeah. Like, it just seems like seeing him on there with, you know, trying so hard to keep the physique, which I respect him for it, you know, and then even Kayla, my wife Kayla was like, man, why don't you give the tanning bed a break? Like, he was like overly tanned and like it's just like, brother, I can tell that you're trying to run from age right now, bro, and you're at the end, brother. Like, you're at the end. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. He can't wrestle anymore. When Cena retired, he could still put on a 5-star match. When AJ retired, he could still put on a 5-star match. It's not about that. It's just like, I don't want it to enter pathetic territory like it did with Ric Flair.
Well, the thing of it is, he did everything he could do in WWE, honestly. He did everything he could do in AEW. I don't see where. So if he's going to continue, and he's not going to do this, I'm not saying he's going to do it, but if he went to somewhere like the TNA or somewhere like that, it would mean something. He could help TNA. He could do something in TNA. But I don't see him doing anything that's really going to help AEW right now, unless it's backstage. And I don't think Tony Khan's going to let anybody help him backstage hardly. So, unfortunately, that's the only thing I think he could help. Now, I think everybody would like if he went to WWE for 3 months and did a farewell tour. That would probably go well, but he's not going to help WWE.
No. It's... Voice, where you at, man? Because I know you're a Jerichoholic, man. Where you at with where he's... with this point of his career before we go to break?
I personally would love to see him be the general manager for AEW. A guy like Chris Jericho could really bring a fun atmosphere to the idea of a general manager, because he has that ability to, I mean, come on, he came up with matches matches that we still love and we look forward to watching.
Great point.
Like Jericho's got such a wrestling mind. I think maybe for him it's harder to say goodbye because I mean the dude's been doing it forever and he's successful at it. It's not like, yes, do we as fans want to see him maybe not do these anymore? Maybe go on and do something else, still in wrestling, but not lacing him up and seeing if he can still go, because we know he can. You have your cruise. You can do all the wrestling matches you want on your cruise, brother. Like, people will pay to see if you didn't wrestle all year long and you told me Jericho's going on his cruise and he's going to be in a match.
Just on his cruise. That's the draw. That's a draw.
That's the draw. That's where people sell it out even quicker than they did the year before. Like,
because it's the only place you're going to be able to see Jericho wrestle.
Exactly. And think about, Tony is such a fan of wrestling. If Jericho was looking at this from a business angle, let's say Tony listens to me and he makes Jericho the GM. Jericho can develop feuds to be like, hey, night one of the cruise, I got this match against this AEW guy that I bet people are going to be like, oh shit, we finally get to see him go up against, and like they can work shit out. There's so many things. Like, just fucking call me, Jericho. I can help you. I can market your whole retirement. But I at the end of the day, I love him so much that I'm okay to see him walk away and not do any more matches, because I've seen every match I could possibly ever see with Jericho. He's done everything. But I don't know another match that he had. A Punjabi prison match? I guess I've never seen him in that, so I guess we could do that.
I don't think we want to see that, brother.
We don't want to. No, but I'm trying to be on his side.
I got you, man. I got you. All right, guys.
Can I bring up? Can I bring up one thing? I just wanted to ask you guys your thoughts real quick on something that got announced today in a press conference. Tony Khan announced that they're going to have that big 6-man Rumble tournament, and I assume there's going to be a special team. I assume it's going to be Swerve and the New Day, formerly New Day, and this is going to be on the pre-show. Is that where we want to see the New Day?
No. On
the pre-show?
No, absolutely not.
But if they do something with them later on in the night where they maybe declare something.
Well, they should confront the new tag team champions, which I assume is going to be
the Young Bucks.
But
see, now, I don't know, Tony.
Even don't put those two in the ring together at All In. Don't let them do anything. No touching each other. No talking to each other. Just let the two teams have a standoff, and that would create buzz.
It would.
But you know they're not going to. Don't let them talk to each other.
They're going to let them talk. If this happens, they'll let them talk. I just see it, Howse, for some reason, and I agree with you. It should be a visual of us just seeing. We need to be like, what the fuck we have to tune into to Dynamite.
Dynamite, yeah, exactly. Yep. That's how you build your Dynamite. Yep. But yeah, but I'm concerned if you see him earlier on the pre-show with Swerve, and if they're in this tournament and they don't win it,
it'll blow.
I think that's a bad look.
Yeah, it's because if you put the New Day in there, they have to win. I mean, they gotta win. I mean, you can't have them in there losing, and then I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
Well,
but
if they have the machine guns,
I was gonna bring the machine guns and see where they're gonna fit into this, because we haven't seen them since they debuted in Detroit.
Yeah.
Insane. I enjoy.
But we don't know if they're
quite a bit, but this is wow.
Don't they have a band though? They have a band, right?
They do have a band.
So I'm going to give AEW the benefit of the doubt, and maybe they were wrapping some things up because they took some things when they got released
or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Maybe that's what's happening, and then they're gonna. I got to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I don't think the machine guns would even allow their characters to be like this at the ranks of an AEW level.
Especially right after their debut. Like,
Yeah,
and then
and-
just absolutely nothing.
Tony's such a fan of wrestling. I highly doubt if in his toy box he had the machine guns, he's just like, I'll play with them later.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you know,
You want to get the
come
most
on.
out of them, man. You wanna get the most
Exactly.
out of
So
them. They're a great tag team.
I want to give them the doubt, and I think maybe they had some projects that they were already gave their word to.
Sure. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to take that break, and on the other side of said break, we're going to bring on Nightwing. He's the In Your House UK correspondent, and he's going to join us to talk a little bit of All in London. He's going to be there in the building, but listen, he's going to be here in your house in about a minute to join us to talk some predictions for this Sunday show. We're going to do that on the other side of this break.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where YH live.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, and we've got our guy Nightwing. He's about to be hitting the studio here in about a second, and we're about to go through the all-in predictions in London. Go match by match. Usually we're doing our loves and our lows this segment, but this time around, because the show is this Sunday, we're going to go through our predictions. And there he is there coming on the show. He's going to be representing In Your House, the UK branch. He's going to be there at All in London. That's Nightwing over there. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Everything's good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. We're happy to have you back on the show to talk a little All In with us, bro.
Oh, I've got some stuff to say about one match in particular that I'm not happy about, and I'm really annoyed, and it's going to leave a sour taste in my mouth when it happens.
Okay, well, so instead of telling us, just let us know when we get there. Once we get through to that, but before we hop into that, man, you are gonna be over there in Wembley Stadium. You're gonna be there for All in London, man. This coming Sunday, you got a big weekend coming up? How are you feeling about it, man?
Yeah. So I will be getting into London around about midday, because there's a football match on in where I work. I don't want to get caught in the traffic of that. That starts at lunchtime. I want to get to London before all the football traffic.
Sure.
And I want to get there. I should be getting there about 11, 12 o'clock. Check into my capsule, my coffin.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking to try and get a ticket for the Rev Pro show, which has a lot of AEW wrestlers on.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's going to be great, man, because you were at that last Rev Pro show, and you had a lot of great coverage there, man, and now you're going to be covering All In, and we're going to have a more likely a household full of the team here on Sunday.
Nice.
It's going to be Voice. It's going to be me. It's going to be Kevin. We might have OG, but we're going to try to get, before the show goes on the air, we're going to try to get like 1 or 2 minutes with you there in Wembley. It might be hard because with all the cell phones there, so you might not have coverage, but we're going to at least try to get you on the show to kind of get some feels of what it's like there live at Wembley as you're there for their biggest show of the year. Nope, I think we might have lost him there for a second. You're kind of glitching out.
That's just my internet, sorry.
Oh, there he is.
I heard you.
There he is. So all right.
If not, I'll do you a few videos of me walking around and send them to you. And then, like, if I can't connect to you directly, I will try and do a few videos of walking around and showing you, like, the merch and that, what they got on sale.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
and
we'll
we'll
throw
try to
those
get those
up.
videos on the
Yeah.
show live. It's going to
Yeah,
be
we'll
a great
throw those-
show. I'm excited for Sunday. I'm really excited for Sunday. It's going to be a great show here in the household. It's going to be a great show for us to watch. And Nightwing's going to be there in person enjoying that show. So, okay, let's get into these predictions. And we got it's an AEW pay-per-view, you guys. So you already know how it is. It's going to be a long one. There's 9 matches on the main card, which is all we're going through. But we have 4 guys to go through. So let's start with the Casino Trios Royal Roulette match for the AEW World Trios Championships. We got Hangman Adam Page and Bandito and Brody King versus the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn. The Conglomeration, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. The Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac and Wheeler Yuta. The Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona versus the Dogs, David Finlay, Clark Connors, and Gabe Kidd versus the Wild Card entrant. This is honestly, that's a really good trios division. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good trios division. But man, it's a lot. They just added this match, as OG covered earlier. But I'm gonna start with OG here. Who do you have winning the Casinos Trios Royale Roulette for the AEW World Trios Champions?
Well, if the wild card is Swerve in the New Day, I like I said, I don't want I think it would be a mistake for the New Day to lose if they're appearing. But I'm going to go I hope it's not them. I hope they do something different and they go a different way with the New Day for that show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the team that I thought they took it off too quick. I'm going to go with Ricochet and
The
his
Demand.
win.
Okay, I like that. I'm with OG. Seriously, I'm with you, man. They should have never took the titles off of them. Seriously, they should have never took the titles off of them. Voice, where are you at, my brother? Who do you got in this big trios roulette match?
I don't mean to sound boring or anything, but the Demand. I didn't want them to lose this damn title to begin with because there's so much you can work off of with them. So, I mean, I hate to be boring and vanilla, but the Demand. And real quick, Tony, that accent, that's over in England. I know you were around when they came back to try to invade us, and that might be scary, but Nightwing's a good one. You don't got to worry about it.
He's not a red coat, okay?
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Nightwing's one of our favorites, man, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying there, Voice, and it's just I get what you're saying. You're not trying to be boring, bland, or whatever, but to me, the Demand should have been the clear-cut trios champions. Like, bro, honestly, if you would have had them like become like the longest reigning trios champions in AEW history, I wouldn't even be mad at it.
Dude, it would have made sense.
I wouldn't have blinked an eye at it. Like, seriously. They're the best trio, I think, on the roster. So let's go to Nightwing over here, our brother over there in the UK representing IYH. Who do you got in this big trios match, brother?
I'm going to say the Demand as well because I've seen them live and they are big men, even Ricochet. You know how people say Ricochet is small?
Yeah.
They're massive. When I went to a previous Pro show, they were there. And
oh, shit.
And I couldn't believe how big all 3 of them are. You know, like massive in person. Hulk, and I watched them beat up these 3 young English lads, and they just squished them like they were little bugs.
Yeah.
So I think like their work over the last few months in AEW has been amazing, and they shouldn't have lost the titles, like you've all said. I agree with you. But if it is going to be New Day and Swerve, why give them the trios titles when the New Day alone, they don't need Swerve. They can go straight for tag titles.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's trying to keep Swerve busy because he seems lost at the moment.
Yes.
But putting him with New Day is a bit of a waste, unless they're going to be mega heels and kick the shit out of everyone. Sorry about my swearing.
No,
But
bro, it's all good.
but if they're going to kick the just trash everything, like after the Young Bucks match, they come out and just destroy them. You know what I mean? Then that's different.
Yeah.
But I can't see it happening. I can't see it being New Day with Swerve. It don't make sense.
It's forced.
Forced.
It would be forced. Like for me, if that's the three in there, then that's kind of I feel like where you got to go. But like the demand, man, I'm not trying. There's no point being different for the sake of being different.
No.
It's the demand. They're the best trio on the roster. I've said it for weeks on this show. Ricochet's advancement on the mic needs to be praised. The way he stayed out of trouble on Twitter needs to be praised. The way he's focused and locked in on his work, on his stable, on his mic work, he needs to be praised. They are the clear-cut, by far best trio on that roster, and they should have never. It's criminal the way they lost those titles. Absolutely criminal. I never thought I would say this, but I'm an absolute fan of Ricochet and the Demand. I think that they should win. All right, let's move on to the next match here. And this is going to be what me and OG, and I believe Voice agrees too, quite possibly could be match of the entire night, and that is the three-way match for the AEW International Championship. Champion Kyle Fletcher against Konosuke Takeshita and Okada. OG, who do you got in that match?
Well, I want it to be Tashida, but I think it's going to be Okada.
Ooh, okay. You think Okada comes out with it? What they've been going through this whole little back and forth with Okada and Fletcher, and it's all been based around family. So I can see Okada kind of sneaking this thing out and maybe doing something sneaky to kind of snake Fletcher a little bit. But then you also have Chateska, who is in the mix as well. Can he take advantage of the dissension between the two Don Callis family members? We're going to get some of Voice's thoughts. Who do you got in that triple threat match, bro?
I really think Takeshita pulls this one out, and I do believe it's going to be that inter-family fighting.
Ooh, okay.
This goes back to what I said with Andrade, and being the one that he's going to be the one who opens up that seam and makes it very visible. And this is going to be another one that happens, because that's going to make Callis really come down on these two, and they're going to sour on Don Callis.
You know, I can see the story that you're telling there, that if, Chateska could most definitely be the thing that unravels everything if he finds a way to use the dissension between the two Don Callis family members, Fletcher and Okada, to his advantage. And like you said, that's going to cause a trickle-down effect that's going to piss off Don Callis, which is going to piss off Kyle Fletcher and Okada, and that dissension is going to further. But let's get Nightwing's thoughts. Where are you at on this potentially barn-burning triple threat match?
That's going to be match of the night for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Takeshita will win it due to Don Callis trying to screw Carl Fletcher over and help Okada, and it backfires in their face, and it just it implodes, and like you said, the family, they'll end up breaking up. I believe Carl Fletcher could do better than Don Callis.
I like Kyle Fletcher a lot. Like, when I know he's wrestling on the card, I'm locked into the match, because that dude, he's one of my favorites on the AEW roster. He's an incredible worker. I agree with you. I think that he is past the time of Don Callis, but I think that what Voice has been saying for months is that we are on the collision course for the implosion of the Don Callis family. And I don't think it's going to culminate it all in, but I think the next major haymaker, the next big chapter comes after the happenings of All In, and we'll see that dissension further. Tacheska is who I think is going to come out and win it. It just makes too much sense for him to use the dissension to his advantage, and what Voice said, which I really loved, as far as it's going to create further conflict within the Don Callis family. And yeah, the story is there, and it's a really good story. So that's who I'm going with. So all right, let's move on to another match that I think can be absolutely incredible. If Kyle Fletcher, Chicheska, and Okada wasn't on the card, it could possibly still match of the night, and that's the Falls Count Anywhere match for the AEW TNT Championship. Champion Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. OG, who do you got?
Well, that's a tough one. Neither one of them necessarily needs the title.
No.
Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Knight retains.
Okay. When I'm looking at this match, OG, I'm really thinking this is the match between AEW's two greatest TNT champions of all time. Darby Allin is highly recognized as one of AEW's best TNT champions. I believe he might be the longest reigning TNT champion, if not the second longest reigning. I think he had the most title defenses up until Kevin Knight, I believe, broke that. And both of these guys have held the belt in reverence. When I see the TNT title on Kevin Knight, it makes me believe that Kevin Knight is the guy that's up next. It definitely gives me it doesn't give me US or IC title vibes as much as it gives me television title vibes. And I love the WCW Television Championship. I thought that was an underrated championship. Same thing with the ECW Television Championship. I like the idea of a match or of a title that is on TV weekly, defended weekly, and is exclusive to that. And I just always enjoyed the Television Championship. But where are you at with this TNT Championship? Falls Count Anywhere match. Darby Allin against champion Kevin Knight. Voice, who do you got?
Well, I disagree with Tony, and someone does need this title. Kevin Knight needs this title to continue the Callis storyline, in which Don Callis can be like, look, Kevin Knight retained. Why haven't you guys retained? Why can't you bring the title home? So I playfully disagree with you, Tony, on that aspect, but I do believe it's going to be Kevin Knight winning this. Even though Darby Allin has been set on fire, he's been beaten, he's been tortured in this rivalry, Kevin Knight walks away with this.
I'm thinking on this match, man, and it can really go either way. Like I said, it's a battle between the best TNT champions in the company. Statistically speaking, they're the two best. So let's give it to Nightwing. Who do you got? Darby Allin, Kevin Knight, Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT Championship.
See, if it wasn't a Falls Count Anywhere match, I would say it would be like a no contest. Like where they both mess each other up. Like they do their mad kamikaze stuff, Darby especially, and then like they both get taken out on a stretcher or whatever, and it's like, oh, this match has ended. But I would say Kevin Knight to retain. I can't, like, Darby's gone from the world title back down to the TNT title. It's a bit of a downgrade. Like he only had that title for not very long, didn't he?
He had a month, yeah.
Yeah, a month. But like to go from that to the TNT title, and then he's going to celebrate like he's won the world title. But it don't make sense. To pump the crowd, then yeah, maybe. But I can't. I can see Knight retaining it. Someone's got to retain.
Yeah, I agree with that. And listen, to Nightwing's point, I think there's gonna be enough pops in the night. I mean, we'll get to the other half. I'd be giving away some of my picks here if I said what I said, but I'll just leave it at this for now. Is that I think there's gonna be enough pops in the night that I think Kevin Knight could afford to win this thing and further the belief that Kevin Knight is the shiny toy of the Don Callis family. Also, to Voice's point, somebody's got to retain, like Nightwing said, and Kevin Knight has to be the shiny new toy the shiny toy that Don Callis is like, hey, he kept his title. What's happening? What's going on around here? So yeah, I think it's gonna be Kevin Knight for sure. It's gonna be a fun match. As far as matches go, I think this is the one that I'm like, there's a lot of different things that could happen because these guys have been exploding each other, with like M80s and shit like that, then fucking exploding each other on the fucking stage and stuff, like almost like they've been going to completely crazy places that I could see Darby Allin going, but I didn't imagine Kevin Knight would go there. And Kevin Knight has become the master of flying at you and smacking you in the face with the title, because he will literally come from outside of the screen of my television and come at you full throttle with the TNT Championship drilling you in your head. I've seen him do it 2 or 3 times. He's the master of the title shot. Kevin Knight is going to retain, and I'm enjoying his work for sure. It's going to be a fun match. All right, here we go. Tag team match for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. The Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lana Cross, the champions, going up against the Brawling Birds, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. OG, who do you got?
Not that I care, but it's going to be the Brawling Birds.
I mean, yeah. Voice, who do you got?
Birds.
All right. Nightwing?
Same as everyone else. There's no point. It's just, they might as well just give them the titles when they walk out to the ring.
Exactly. It's for the pop, man. This match is gonna be, I don't got a lot on this. This match is gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be probably, if it's more than 5 minutes, it's gonna get sloppy. I mean, if it's longer than 5 minutes, it's gonna get sloppy. This is literally all so Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter can have their moment in Wembley. I don't care. There's really not much more to say. We can literally move on.
Give it to him.
Just give
Why
it
not?
to him.
Just give it to him.
Why not? All right. So, all right. Jon Moxley versus Nigel McGuinness, Continental Challenge Cup Finals for the AEW Continental Championship and the cup that comes with it. OG, who do you got?
It's going to be Moxley.
Moxley. All right. It's a strong possibility. It could be Moxley, and that would solidify that this is the Moxley Jerk-Off Tournament, which usually I'm a huge fan of tournament. There's not a lot of guys. There's not a lot of guys that are bigger fans of tournament-based competitions than me, whether it comes to almost any sport, especially wrestling. I love a good tournament, especially when it's meaningful. This is just Moxley jerking himself off in public, man. I mean, he's driving down to San Diego and jerking off on the corner, and we're all watching it. That's what we're seeing right now.
Jacking it.
Yeah. He's just jacking it, man. And that's exactly what we're seeing. It's egregious, man. But Voice, where are you at? Nigel McGuinness, Jon Moxley, Continental Challenge Cup Finals.
It's Mox. It's Mox.
All right, Nightwing, what about you, man?
See, if it was old school Ring of Honor Nigel McGuinness, I would say him, but we got the Magic Man, haven't we? Not Ring of Honor Nigel McGuinness. Don't get me wrong, I've always got a soft spot for Nigel McGuinness. He was one of my favourite wrestlers. If Tony wants to put him over, I can see it happening as his redemption, because he's only come back, hasn't he, recently? It's only been a few years since he's back.
Yeah, he hasn't wrestled in
properly.
13 years.
But it's got to be Moxley. Moxley needs that big ego. He needs that trophy. He needs to hold it. You know, even though he won't hold his kids, he'll hold his trophy instead and his belt. You know what I mean?
Yes, man. Oh, man. Here I go again. I'm going up against every single fiber in my soul, and I'm just taking a swing, and if I miss, I miss. I'm gonna say Nigel McGuinness. I'm gonna say Nigel McGuinness. I don't like that I'm saying, not that I don't want Nigel to win. Like I want to make it clear that I said what I said about him, having a bum ankle, not wrestling for 13 years and going up against somebody like Moxley who stays sharp every single week. That doesn't mean I don't like Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor, peak. That dude was a monster, an absolute wrestling machine. Forget about it. But it's just the fact that it's 13 years out the game against the sharpest knife in the cabinet. Come on, man. Like, that's what we're dealing with here. It doesn't matter how I feel about Jon Moxley. He's wrestling every single week. He's sharp every single week. It's hard to believe it, but I've seen stranger things happen in wrestling. It's in Wembley, and I don't know what they write for him after that, but I'm going on a piss and a prayer here, and I'm gonna say Nigel McGuinness.
You and Ribshot should get a room together.
Good old
You guys
Rib.
can have a yank.
Good old a yank with the yank. There you go. Man.
See, my problem is even if they do McGuinness, I just think that the tournament was a waste because it should have been to make somebody.
Yes, I totally agree.
That's my only problem. And not that I don't like Nigel McGuinness. I like Nigel McGuinness just fine. But I don't want people to think that I don't like him.
This is going to make
circumstances. It's the circumstances.
This is going to make somebody. It's going to make Mox come. So somebody's going to get made.
That's fact, man. I can't argue that fact. Like I gave Jon Moxley a little bit of credit because in the story he is the sharper wrestler. He wrestles every single week. So it doesn't make sense that as good as Nigel McGuinness was, the legend of Nigel McGuinness, forget about it. I have nothing but absolute respect for that man. But that was 13 years ago. 13 years ago against the sharpest guy on the roster. Forget about it. But all right, let's move on here to the men's casino gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. Oh, what do we got here? What do we got? We got Ribshot. He says, Tony clearly doesn't like Nigel McGuinness. What a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been called worse. That's fine.
I think Ribshot just likes the pop he gets out of you, Tony.
He does.
We all strive to get that pop out of you.
Oh, no. And here's Fightins. He says his man Mox just runs right through the competition. We know Fightins.
Oh, God.
Damn it. I love you, Fightins. All right. Let's jump over to this Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. Andrade El Idolo is number 1. MJF is number 2. Also, Tommaso Ciampa is in that mix. Dunkzilla Mark Davis is in that mix. We now know Chris Jericho's in that mix. And participants to be announced. I'm going to give it to my man OG here. Who do you got?
I want it to be Andrade, but I think it's got to be MJF.
Okay. The story is almost tailor-made for it to only be either MJF. I see out there, Ribshot. You already know we're gonna get to that point. We're gonna get there, but let me get this point out of the way here. But the story seems like it's tailor-made for either Andrade or MJF to win this thing, and everybody else is just there kind of as filler. Like, and it's not no disrespect to anybody else. Like, everybody who listens to this knows that I've loved Tommaso Ciampa's run in AEW. I love Dunkzilla Mark Davis. I think he's great. I didn't have the greatest things to say about Chris Jericho, but he's not gonna make this match any worse. He's gonna keep it tight. It's gonna be that's a lot of great names, but I think we can all agree that this story has been completely built around MJF and Andrade El Idolo. I'm going to give it to Voice Man. Who do you got winning this Casino Gauntlet match?
Well, again, fans, I'm telling stories here, and this is how Andrade gets his world title opportunity. And
Okay.
this is when he will wait with it until the Jet gets it and they're celebrating, and he will cash in on the Jet and completely destroy the Callis family. And Jet will take it off MJF, just so everybody knows.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're giving it,
I'm
all
telling
right.
stories here.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Since
man.
AEW's not doing it weekly, I might as well.
Somebody's got to do it, man. Somebody's got to do it. All right, let's give it over to Nightwing, man. Who do you got, man, in this Casino Gauntlet match?
MJF, but I do think Gargano's going to make an appearance because he's now
Ooh.
his contract expired. He don't have the 90-day clause.
That could be interesting.
That could be
He
very
doesn't have the
interesting.
90-day clause when your contract expires.
Nope, you sure
And this
don't.
is the
That's
20
absolute facts.
21 people are in
Yeah.
this match.
That's one of the pops. It'll be him coming out.
Is he going to plank on his way out?
Probably plank on his way out and jump up and cost Ciampa.
Man,
Don't tease me with a good time.
it's gonna be
That's
fun.
me telling stories.
Yeah, there you go, telling some stories, man. It's gonna be fun. Like I think the match is gonna be fun because we can get some faces, some newer faces in the mix, though. But I'm gonna say Andrade. And it's not. I'm gonna say Andrade, and the reason
I
I'm
hope
saying
you're right.
the reason I'm saying Andrade is because MJF's gonna get back to the title one way or the other.
That's true.
He's gonna get no matter
fair.
what. He's gonna get back to that title. But just here's the thing about Andrade, and I'll be quick. I'll keep this tight. Andrade's a great, incredible in-ring talent. He's like literally. When wrestlers talk about him, they talk about he's one of the smoothest talents in the ring. It's always been that with him. It's always been he's one of the literal best wrestlers between those ropes, but it's just the outside shit that keeps him from being the main event player that everybody knows he should be. So, one other thing is that we know that he's not even at this. I remember when this guy could not speak a lick of English. When he first came over, he could not speak a lick of English. And he's still, to me, he's still improving, getting better, but his English is better than it was ever before. So I'm just leaving it at this, and anybody can answer who wants to answer it. Do you think there's anybody on that roster that's going to enhance the story with Andrade better than what MJF is doing?
Tommaso.
No.
I mean, Tommaso could do something exciting as the same level, but not the same, way MJF is doing it.
I agree with what you're saying. Tommaso's a great pick, but like MJF just carries, bro.
Yeah,
The dude
100%.
just carries. Like if you need somebody who cannot string together a great story, like MJF is the guy to help you string it together. I honestly think that a lot of where Kevin Knight is thriving, where he's at right now as a heel, is because of early interactions during that heel turn with MJF. It just helped him. It sharpened him. MJF is a guy that can put on a 5-star match, a match of the year candidate, but he will also tell you the best story on the card that night, for that pay-per-view, for the duration of whatever the time is between the story's beginning and the payoff, whenever that pay-per-view is. He's the absolute best overall guy on that roster by far, and I don't care. I
do have a dark horse if it's not Andrade or MJF. I think it's going to be one of those two.
Let's
But
go.
my dark horse is Mark Davis
I love Mark Davis.
because of the story. If Ospreay wins the championship, the story with him and Mark
shit.
Davis, that would be my dark horse.
Yeah, because Mark Davis basically killed him with that power driver on that apron where he couldn't continue the match.
They were tag team partners for many years.
Yep. For sure. There's a big story there for sure. And I think Mark Davis would be a great first or maybe second opponent for Ospreay during his title run when he does win it. But
And I do think we get Dragunov.
I think
Yeah,
Dragunov
That's
can come.
another one.
Do you think we get Dragunov in the Casino Gauntlet?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I really do.
I like that. I'd be down with that. Okay, let's move on here because we got to wrap up here in a little bit. Let's get to the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Cage and Cope, Christian Cage and Adam Copeland versus the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. OG, who do you got?
I think it's got to be the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I love Cage and Cope. They've been putting on decent matches. You haven't seen them too much, but when they have been, they've been putting on some pretty decent matches. But Voice, who do you got? Tag Team Championship match: Cage, Cope, and the Young Bucks.
It's got to be the Bucks. And I love what you designed for us with New Day, and I hope when they do win it, the Bucks, they yell out, "Hey, you guys see that giant out there? Fuck him. We love him. He really helped us get this title." Speaking of you, Nightwing, I hope they call you out, buddy.
That'd be great. That would be great. Speaking of Nightwing, who do you got in this tag team championship match? The Young Bucks or Cage and Cope?
It's gonna be Young Bucks, but I'm not happy about it because on last night's Dynamite, they tried to turn Cope and Christian heel, like in a way, like to build a bit of tension. And it's like you don't need to turn anyone heel in this match. This is what annoyed me, is you don't need to turn anyone heel in this match. We already know Young Bucks are slimy little shits. They're the best tag team in the world. Yeah, give them their dues. But I'm an attitude era kind of guy, and I'm the little boy in me is like, I want Edge and Christian to win, but it ain't gonna happen. They've got it written in their contracts that they could. Oh yeah, we'll beat Edge and Christian. We'll fucking batter them. Like we'll make it look good, and we won't sell his spear. We won't sell the kill switch. You know, and we'll kick out at one. Fuck two. But the Young Bucks will win it, and I'm not happy to say that.
I love the honesty, man. I love the honesty. I love it. I think it's gonna be Bucks too, man. Honestly, and I think the Bucks want to be on top of the division because that the tag team division is about to change. We called for this months ago. Literally months ago, we called for this. Motor City Machine Guns, they're coming in. New Day, they're coming in. You got Cage and Cope still in the mix. Even if you break up some of those trios teams, you still got Bro Dito in the mix. You got different variations of the Bang Bang Gang, different variations of the Conglomeration, different variations of the Death Riders. You could just do Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. You have David Finlay, Clark Connors, or you can put Gabe. There's a lot of different, and then you put New Day in that mix, you put Motor City Machine Guns in that mix, and you put the Young Bucks at the top of that. We are in the spot where everybody, bro, every single podcast I listen to, every single thing that I'm listening to that talks about current day professional wrestling says there is a huge void in tag team wrestling across the board. Yes. Across the board. AEW has a chance. They have an opportunity to once again make tag team wrestling matter. And I was listening. I'll keep this one tight because we do have to move on. I was listening to Busted Open, and Bully Ray, one of the greatest tag team competitors of all time, said himself that tag team wrestling is not important. Tag team wrestling is not relevant. And the reason why is because there's so much more to talk about, so much more to do on top of that. And then it's just the fact that it's never been the vocal point of a show. Has there been moments in time where there's lightning in a bottle where the tag team division gets that focus, where they get that that glory. Yes, those times come, but that's all they are. They're moments in time. It's never consistent. And I think that if we're going to jump in that, AEW has an opportunity to take advantage of something that everybody in wrestling is calling for, and that's a bigger emphasis on stories and opportunities in tag team professional wrestling.
I agree, man.
So we'll see what they do with it. Only time will tell. But let's get to the next match here. That is Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. OG, who do you got?
I was leaning towards Mercedes anyway, but now that Willow's got the broken hand, I think it's definitely Mercedes.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if there was anything else. Voice, what about you?
Yeah, without the broken hand, I would be all for Willow, but I think to progress the story and things like that, you're gonna have to do it with Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah. Nightwing, what about you, brother?
I agree. They don't need to really do that angle, really, because we all knew she was going to win it. It's took how long for her to... She's had every other title in
Yep.
AEW. It's only a matter of time for her to get the world title. They don't need to weaken Willow by breaking her hand
No.
and make her look weak. When she isn't, she's a great competitor. But they can still have a bar-burning match, but they don't need to bring the focal point of a broken hand into it. They could have had a better match without that anyway.
Yeah.
Now, let me be clear on this. OG, is that a legitimate broken hand or is it a work broken hand?
Tony Khan announced legitimately that she does have a broken hand.
Okay, so it's legitimate broken. That's what I wanted to see there. But I'll be honest. here. Broken hand or not, I think Mercedes was going to win one way or the other. Seriously.
Yeah.
I think she was just going to win one way or the other. Love Willow. You guys can listen back to the old episodes of this of this particular show. Me, OG, and Voice have put Willow over to the absolute nines. We love her. She's one of our favorite things on the show, but everybody has to pass that torch and give somebody else that moment. And right now, this moment belongs to Mercedes Moné. So we're going to see that. I could see Willow possibly taking some time off. I would love to see Tony Storm come back in the mix at some point. I mean, I don't know what's been going on. It was never disclosed why she's needed so much time off, which concerns me because it makes me think it could be like a family issue or health issue that we don't know about or don't need to know about, which I'm not going to speak on that anymore because it is none of our business. But I definitely do miss Tony Storm, and I would love to see her back in the mix soon at some point. But I definitely think Mercedes Moné is going to win this thing. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up because we have the final match. And, man, I got to tell you, this is, I mean, come on. This is going to be an easy one in my eyes, man. I mean, like shooting fish in a barrel, man. Let's go here. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. I mean, OG, what do you think?
I'm definitely going with Ospreay. Now it'd be interesting if they swerved everybody and they had the Young Bucks turn heel during the tag match, and then you had Omega turn, because he kind of turned heel the last time he was on in a way. So what if they healed it up and swerved everybody? I think that would be interesting, but I'll be shocked if they don't go with Ospreay. So I'm going with Ospreay.
Yeah, I'd be shocked. Voice, what do you think?
Oh, it's going to be a cran apple ocean spray celebration with Will Ocean Spray. Yeah, it's going to pour from the rafters. Wear your raincoat there, Nightwing. Here in the States, that's a condom, but over there, I'm pretty sure it's a slicker.
Johnny.
Slicker?
Yeah.
Slicker? That's wild. All right. Nightwing, who do you got? Will Ospreay or
Brother Love's
Kenny
going to
Omega?
win this, isn't he? Brother Love. He's going to win it. It's his time. Big build up for his time. They could have done it better. They could have had it with anyone else other than Kenny Omega. Is it in his contract that he wants a headline at Wembley? Is it the last time AEW are going to be at Wembley because of poor ticket sales? You know what I mean? Because I can't see them going back next year. If they're selling tickets for less, I've paid £50 for floor seats. You've all seen the map. I've sent it to you.
Yep.
£50. My mate's paid. What did he pay? I'm sure he paid like 20 quid, and he's not in the nosebleeds. He's like halfway up. You know, like what's that all about? Like,
holy hell!
It's sad that they can't sell tickets like they did the first time. The first time, and I'm gutted I missed that the first time. But I can't see them going back to Wembley. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to use Fulham's football ground, because that's a stadium that can hold 30,000 people without. That's with the pitch. It's still involved. So without that could be easily 5,000-6,000 more people. But like, it's sad, really, because like this AEW is for. I see it as an English fan is that we can watch this on normal TV where we don't have to pay a cable subscription.
Yeah.
We could watch it a couple of days later, and the fact that not many people are going to this show, it surprises me with how cheap it is as well. At one point, they were selling tickets for people who work for hospitals and that for like £1, £1, £2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And the fact that look, I told you guys about this a couple of weeks ago when I was looking at my tickets.
Yeah.
And somehow last month when I bought my ticket, I got a floor seat for £50, and it wasn't even a resale. It was there. It was just there.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
It's sad, really. It's sad. I know WWE are outselling everyone. Like I can never afford to go to a WWE show. No, I can't. Yeah. I've got 6 kids with 1 on the way, so that's 7. Maybe 7. I can't afford that because they all want to come with me.
Yeah.
I possibly could have afforded all in with a few of them, but then that's taking kids to London and having the risk of losing them if I'm having a few drinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Well, it's like AEW is. It's by far the better company in a way. I love my WWE. And yeah, some AEW fans annoy me. They do annoy me. Sorry for going on. But,
you're good.
You're fine.
It's just like, I think it's a shame that this is not sold out 80,000 like it was the first time. Yeah. You could easily do it. You could even drop them to a £5, the cheap seats, all them cheap seats. You could do that, £5 on the day. If people were willing to go to London for the day, Ticketmaster has a deal on where you can get coaches from certain towns around England and get to there, and then they'll drop you back home that night for a certain price. It's not a bad price.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I hate America.
I'll send you a link.
I'm coming there, Nightwing.
But the fact that people aren't doing that, like the first time, it shocks me, and it's sad, really.
That's insane.
It's really sad. This wrestling show, this is cheaper than some independent shows I've been to.
That's crazy,
man. That is crazy.
Like that last show I went to, I paid £50 for, and that was an independent show, and that was a great show. Don't get me wrong, but it was a women's show, and I paid £50 for that. I've paid £50 for floor seats at All In.
Their biggest show of the year, bro.
Biggest show of the year. It's mind-boggling.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That blows my mind.
The fact that people are still sitting on their bums and not going to the show.
Yes.
When it's especially if you live in London, you've got no excuse. Unless you can't get out of work, then that's fair enough. You've got no excuse.
Well, I know 2 or 3 months ago they cut tickets 50%.
Still doing it. The offer's still on.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer 26. They even had that offer. Even went for yesterday's Glasgow show. You could have got half-price tickets for that as well.
I heard that too.
Are they that desperate for people to come? I know that the fan base is big in Scotland. I know that.
Yeah.
But for their biggest shows of the year, they're slashing the price £50. Some tickets were £1, £2, and people still don't take them up on the offer. Come on.
Crazy.
That's insane. Absolutely. I mean, well, I'm saying Will Ospreay. Obviously, I mean that's not even the story anymore. But that's absolutely insane. I cannot believe that biggest
Sorry
show of
about
the year.
that.
No, you're
No,
good.
you're good,
No,
Wow.
man.
it
No,
created a
that's
good
good information.
conversation.
Exactly. Those are the things our fans would love to hear about. And I mean, honestly, I wish they would do that here. If they ran a big show in Chicago and you could buy a ticket and actually get like a lift from here in my hometown to Chicago and back,
Money, dude.
every day I would do it.
Well, here in Muncie, they've got a thing where, like, if you want to go to Noblesville for a concert, they'll pick you up at your house, take you to the concert, drop you off, pick you back, and take you. They've got that. Our bus system. They've got that for the Colts now. They've got that for other sporting events here in Muncie. They will pick you up and take you and bring you back. I don't know the cost.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to go through Ticketmaster.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Ah,
this
so
is the
they
thing.
do.
We've Ticketmaster. It's called the Big Green Bus. So it's just like coaches,
Yeah.
and they do that. Like they take you from, like, my closest main city is Birmingham.
Yeah.
They'll take you from Birmingham. They'll take you from Manchester, Liverpool, all different places. I'll have a look in a bit to see what they've actually got, and I'll send you some screenshots.
That's cool.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That's real cool. All right, we gave our predictions here. We gave our thoughts on the last episode of AEW Dynamite before All in London. Join us here. Please do, guys out there in the household, join us this Sunday. And it's going to be going, or we might go a little bit before 1 o'clock. Just to catch that vibe, but we're definitely going to be on by 1 o'clock to watch the show. Get a little time with our brother over there in IYH UK, Nightwing. Get a couple of minutes for him. Then let him enjoy the show. He'll take some videos and send it to us. And as we are watching the show, we're going to try to get those videos live on the show as we are watching it. We want Sunday to be a huge show. We want everybody to show up. We want Voice to be there. We want OG to be there. We want Bryce to be there. We want Kevin to be there. We want Nightwing to be there for the little bit of time that we're going to get him. And we want you guys out there in the household joining us. If you guys don't have anybody to watch All In with on Sunday, you got somebody now. Join us in the household. I'm going to throw it over here to my man Nightwing, who's going to be in the building for that event.
Yeah.
Where can they catch you? Everything that you're doing, and do you have anything to plug? Tell them a little bit about what you're doing Sunday.
So Sunday, I will be rolling out of the coffin because I'm staying in a capsule hotel.
Yeah.
If there's enough grease, enough butter on my sides to get out, I will possibly head over to Wembley early, head to the Weatherspoons, have a breakfast if it's not too busy, have a few pints,
Yeah, man.
meet up with some friends, and then walk around and see what's going on around there. See if the merch stands are open. See what I can get. I'm going to try and get a T-shirt if they've got one in my giant size.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. We're going to be excited to see you there. I hope you have a blast, man. I don't think this is the last time I'm going to talk to you before the show, but for whatever reason, if it is, just have an absolute blast, man. Live in the
try my
moment.
best.
Yeah, live in the
It's
moment.
my first ever big show. I've never
Hell
been to
yeah.
Wembley as a football fan. I've never been to Wembley, so it's a home of
Wow.
football. So
Man,
it's my
I'm
first time
excited
going.
for you.
Yeah,
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I'm excited
you,
for him too.
He's gonna
Yeah,
jerk off on the floor.
man. He's gonna be on the floor of Wembley. That's
Probably
crazy,
the camera.
All right. Let's bring it over here to OG because we got to get him out of here. Of course, he does great work over there at Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. He's going to be on here in a little bit. I'll let him tell you more about it. OG, where can they catch you at, brother?
Hey, I'll be on at 8:30 on Gonzo's Sports Room, Gonzo's Wrestling Room with Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk. Then we got our sports show, Gonzo's Sports Room Talk Show at 10 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow night, guys, our SmackDown after party, in your house after party. As soon as SmackDown goes off. And then quite possibly, hopefully, we'll be on with you guys on Sunday.
Most definitely, man. I would love to have you on Sunday because I love watching wrestling with you. I love watching wrestling with Voice. love the whole team here, man. It's great. Speaking of voice, man, he does great work here at In Your House. He's the producer of Pope and the Con Man that previewed last week. Critically acclaimed, covered by WrestlingHeadlines.com, Tim Rose. So we made headlines. He was the producer of that show, as he is pretty much every episode here at In Your House. That's the voice, Josh Joseph. Where can they catch you in everything you're doing?
All right, fans. So if you want to check out more of that AEW content and coverage and what we bring to the table, swing back through next Thursday when we talk it again. AEW Dynamite. Yeah. It's me, OG, and Howse, and we're going to be talking, that's right, AEW Dynamite. So come hang out with us at 6 p.m. on a Thursday. Outside of that, there's a show that we do about Monday Night Raw on a Tuesday where Kevin Calloway and new boy Bruzy, he's not really a boy, he's like a boy man.
He's a man.
He's
boy.
a mixture. You got to guess
boy.
what? Yes,
man
he's a man
pig.
boy. Man bear pig. Come, you know what? Tuesday at 6:15, stop in and check us out and you'll see what we're talking about. But it's been a fun time and a great ride with Bruzy because he's the newest co-host on In Your House.
Yes.
And he's doing great work. He's doing great work. I'm really enjoying a lot of what Bruzy's bringing to the table. But that's enough about Bruzy. So let's get on to something important. That's the WCW watch along with me and Howse. And that's what, right? We watch WCW. We're in the middle of the United States title picture. And guess what? It's a great picture. We're going to drop something in the Discord in this week. Since we didn't give you a show this week, we'll drop in what we're going to be watching so you guys can get that all repped up and we can get the talk. We can get the discussion going. Speaking of that, join the Discord because I guarantee you'll see some of Nightwing's. He'll drop in some stuff from All In. It'll be a great time, and it'll be a way for you to keep in contact with In Your House at the moment that we put out the newest content.
Most definitely all the great content that we are putting out, and it's all part of that work. But listen, before we get to that, of course, I got to hit my catchphrase, of course, but we got Sunday. This coming Sunday, it is going to be a big episode, the watch along for AEW All In. Check that out. We have a great catalog of episodes that we present to you guys through the week, like Voice just prattled out there. But of course, we have the debut episode of Pope and the Con Man that is now officially out there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. A lot of different people out there giving feedback on that pilot episode, and in a couple of weeks we're gonna go live with episode 2. We just had Tommy Invincible, independent professional wrestling star and viral sensation, on the show this past Sunday. It was a great episode. Shout out to Kevin Calloway and Bryce, young boy Bryce. They kicked off IYH Gaming last night, and they played Slay the Spire and got that going. Shout out to Bruzy for all the great work that he is doing. Shout out to Gonzo Sports Room and Gonzo Wrestling Room for the amazing work that they do on their own and help us out on Thursdays and Mondays and Fridays. Nightwing over there doing great work as the In Your House correspondent over there in the UK. This is a family, y'all. It's a whole team here. We're putting in work to try to put out the best content and continue to grow this professional wrestling community. Now it's all part of the work, and that's HOWSC, and that W stands for work. So for Nightwing, our UK correspondent over there, representing In Your House for OG Tony Gonzalez, representing Gonzo Sports Room and Gonzo Wrestling Room. For the voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Alec on the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. You can join Gonzo and OG Tony tomorrow night for the SmackDown after party. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Dynamite, 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 dynamite.